welcome to this deep dive, especially if you're an entrepreneur navigating the Houston business scene.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're going right to the source, looking at insights from SaaS, CACs, and Business Solutions. They're based right here in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They've put together a really helpful article on common cash flow mistakes that, well, Houston entrepreneurs often make.
Yeah, and that's what we want to unpack today. Look at these mistakes, understand why they happen, particularly here, and maybe, touch on some solutions.
Exactly. Because cash flow, it really is the lifeblood of a business, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's critical. And SaaS Tax and Business Solutions points out, a pretty sobering fact. Something like 82% of small business failures are tied back to cash flow problems.
Wow, 82%.
Yeah. And in a place like Houston, with its, let's say, unique rhythm, you've got the seasonal stuff, specific deadlines. Getting cash flow right is just paramount.
Okay, so let's jump into the first big one they highlight. This idea of mistaking profit for actual cash in hand. You see those sales figures looking good. The profit and loss statement says you're in the black. But that doesn't always mean the money's actually there to spend, does it?
It really doesn't. It can be a bit of a financial illusion sometimes. That profit often includes money you're still waiting on, invoices you've sent out.
Accounts receivable.
Exactly. But your immediate goals, things like rent, payroll, those need paying now, often weekly. They don't wait for your clients to pay you.
Right. Landlords don't take IOUs.
They certainly don't. And there's a QuickBooks study, I think SAS mentioned it, finding something like 61% of owners struggle with cash flow.
Over half.
Yeah, and nearly a third, 32%, couldn't pay vendors, loans, or even themselves at some point because of it.
Yeah.
That weekly ebb and flow is crucial.
That really hits home. Now, another point SAS makes, very Houston-specific, is ignoring our seasonal revenue dips.
Oh, absolutely. This is huge here. Think about the summer heat, right?
Yeah.
It definitely impacts foot traffic for, say, retail stores.
For sure. August can be slow for many.
And then there's storm season. That can cause delays, especially for industries like construction or anything relying on outdoor work.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not planning ahead, maybe with a rolling 12-month forecast that actually accounts for these slower periods.
You could get caught short.
Exactly. You might overspend when things are busy, and then suddenly the cash isn't there during the predictable lull. You need to anticipate it.
So forecasting is key. Okay, another Texas-specific item they bring up, and this one can trip people up, the May 15th franchise tax deadline.
Yes. Crucial detail for Texas businesses. We don't have state income tax, but we do have this franchise tax.
And even if you don't owe anything.
Right. Even if it's a no tax due situation, you generally still have to file that report every year. May 15th.
Missing it isn't good.
Definitely not. You're looking at penalties, interest, and it can get your business marked as not in good standing with the state.
Which affects loans, other things.
It absolutely can. It's like forgetting your car inspection. You need to do it to stay compliant. SAS helps businesses stay on top of this, which is vital.
Good point. Okay, next up, letting invoices age out, letting them go past 30 days.
Slow paying clients. They can put a real strain on your working capital.
That's the money you need day to day, right?
Precisely. Money tied up in unpaid invoices isn't available for your operating costs, for inventory, for marketing, even for your own salary.
And SAS notes this can force owners to dip into personal funds.
Unfortunately, yes. It happens far too often. You end up using personal savings or credit cards to bridge that gap caused by slow collections. Setting up reminders, maybe automating them like SAS suggests can help.
Yeah, nobody wants to blur those personal and business lines.
Yeah.
Which actually brings us to the next point, mixing personal and business funds.
Oh, the classic mistake. Using the same bank account or credit card for, groceries and office supplies.
Seems easier maybe, but sounds like a nightmare for bookkeeping.
It truly is. It makes tracking expenses incredibly difficult. Come tax time, you might miss legitimate business deductions because they're lost in the shuffle.
Or worse.
Or you could potentially underreport income if things aren't clear, leading to trouble down the road. Just keeping things separate, having dedicated business accounts, it's fundamental. SAS helps set that up correctly from the start.
Makes complete sense. Foundational stuff. Okay, Houston's economy can be booming, and there's this temptation, SAS says, to overorder inventory just in case.
Yes, the just-in-case trap. You see growth, you get optimistic, you stock up.
But that ties up cash.
A lot of cash. Money sitting on shelves as excess inventory isn't working for you. It could be used for marketing, hiring, paying down debt.
Yeah.
Plus, inventory costs money to insure, and it might even become obsolete.
So it's dead money, in a way.
It can be. Smart inventory management, maybe using something like monthly stock turn reports that SaaS provides, helps keep cash flowing, not sitting.
Right. Okay, final point they stress, skipping a rainy day fund, an emergency reserve.
So important, especially here. Think about it. Unexpected things happen constantly in business. Equipment breaks. A key employee gets sick. Supply chains get disrupted.
Or, tropical storm hits.
Exactly. We know that reality in Houston. Without a cash reserve, emergencies often force businesses into high-interest debt just to survive.
A safety net?
A crucial safety net. SaaS advises building up maybe 3 months of operating expenses. It gives you breathing room when, inevitably, something unexpected occurs.
These are all such, critical areas for any business owner, but they feel especially relevant for us here in Houston.
They really are. Understanding these common pitfalls, the profit versus cash issues, seasonality, that May 15th deadline, collections, keeping funds separate, inventory reserves, it's all part of building a resilient business here.
And it seems like that's where SaaS Tax and Business Solutions really focuses helping Houston businesses navigate these specific challenges.
Precisely. They know the local landscape, the deadlines, the seasonal impacts. Their whole approach seems geared towards preventing these very cash flow mistakes we've been talking about. They offer things like weekly reconciliation, those forecasts, tax management.
Proactive strategy.
Yeah, designed to keep you solvent all year round.
Well, if you're listening and thinking, yeah, I need to get a better handle on my cash flow, or maybe some of these points rang a little too true.
It's worth reaching out.
Definitely. SaaS Tax and Business Solutions understands the Houston context. You can give them a call at 832-263-7308.
Or you can shoot them an email at Email Protected to set up a consultation. It's about getting that financial clarity for your business's future right here in Houston.